Hello, Spartans. This is Lisa Winters. I'm the kindergarten through 5th grade instructional math coach, and I'm here today to read chapters 95 through 99 of Dogtown. Chapter 95, 2 Legs. Mom closed the trunk and drove away. At first, we were happy to be out of there. Then the worries set in. Mouse and I were hungry and thirsty, and we had no idea how to get back to Dogtown. I peeked out from under the car. Generally, I have a good sense of direction, but I'd gotten turned around from all the stops. I didn't know if we were 50 yards from Dogtown or 50 miles. It was going to be dark soon. The day had been unseasonably warm, but the nights were freezing. This wouldn't be a problem for Metalhead, but I worried about Mouse. His fur wasn't thick like mine. And after what had happened with the dog sitter's boyfriend, I was terrified of the city streets at night. What if I lost another leg? I'd never seen a dog with 2 legs, which tells you something, doesn't it? I have to get back for poker night, I said, but still, I didn't move. I couldn't decide whether to go left or right. Metalhead and Mouse nodded. They knew poker night was what kept me off the list. Then Mouse gestured wildly with his hands. He was worried his brothers and sisters back at Dogtown would go hungry without him. I felt bad about this because Mouse hadn't wanted to come along in the first place. My charge is low. 5%, Metalhead reported. 5%? I howled. Mouse dove under Metalhead to check his charging gauge, which was tucked into his belly. Mouse held 2 fingers up with his left hand and 2 with his right. 22 minutes, I said. Mouse nodded a big nod. We'll have to find a charge on our way home, I said bravely. What else could we do? Chapter 96. Train whistle. I could smell 100 things at once. Biscuits, bananas, and burnt coffee. Fish that was dried and fish that was fried. We were in a strip mall that included the thrift store, a little grocery, a bakery, a fish market, and a furniture store. I heard the train whistle. A short toot, then a long one. The sound stretched as the train pulled away. The evening whistle wasn't as loud here as it had been at Dogtown, and I couldn't hear the clanking of the railroad crossing arm. I didn't know how far we'd traveled with Jimmy's mom. Still, it was comforting to hear the familiar sound. What I needed was a map. But there was no time to think about that. Metalhead's charge was running out. Chapter 97, Fish Market. Metalhead was moving slowly. How long do you take to charge? I asked. 4 hours, he said in his low charge drawl. 4 hours? I began to pant. You must be joking. You can say what you want about a real dog's needs, but at least we don't require an electrical umbilical cord. What if there was a power outage? Robot dogs would all stop. Once Metalhead's charge got to 0, his limbs would freeze up. He wouldn't be able to move, and he was much too heavy for Mouse and me to carry. Mouse scrambled on my back, and we headed for the fish market. The smells were intoxicating. Salmon, sole, steelhead, trout. I hadn't had fish since Sycamore Avenue. The professor liked grilled salmon. There was always a curl of fish skin, a chunk of fish flesh, a bit of fish fat in my bowl. Jessie had been fond of tuna melts. Sometimes I got to lick the can. If we could get a bite of dinner for Mouse and me and a charge for Metalhead, what could be better than that? Chapter 98, A Risky Move. How would we hide Metalhead next to an outlet long enough for him to charge. An idea began to form. The fish market was closing, but a few customers lingered. The fish market guys in white aprons rolled the displays into the cramped inside space. Behind the displays were large refrigerators and tanks of live lobsters with lights and bubbling water. So there had to be outlets in there. What if the fish market was locked up with us inside? I licked my lips at the thought. I was thinking how we might stage a distraction and scoot inside without being seen, when Mouse slipped off my back and bolted across the sidewalk. Mouse! With all the people around, this was a risky move. Mouse didn't panic when they spotted him either. He climbed up a table leg and retrieved a piece of shrimp, which hadn't yet been cleared away. Rat! Rat! A woman in purple tights shouted, waving her walking stick. By then, Mouse was running back across the sidewalk, the shrimp in his mouth, a guy with a broom chasing after him. Chapter 99, The Broom. I knew better than to run. And Metalhead, low as he was on charge, could barely walk. So the two of us sat outside pretending to be loyal canines, waiting for our humans to come out of the market. Mouse disappeared under a parked car. The fish market guy, who had a ponytail and smelled like lemons, circled the car, broom in hand. He thumped the bristles on the cement. He peered underneath and ran the broom under the car. Still no Mouse. The fish market guy stood up and smacked the broom handle on the pavement. It made a terrifying crack, and Mouse darted out. The fish market guy took off after him. Mouse headed for the bakery. He bypassed a car, barely missing a lady carrying a bakery box. But the fish market guy slammed into her, sending the pink bakery box flying. "Come on!" I barked as the fish market guy apologized to the woman and helped her gather the bags of cookies that had spilled on the pavement. Mouse scampered onto my back, and the three of us hightailed it out of there. "Mouse!" I growled. When we were a safe distance away, "Are you nuts? You could have gotten killed!" Mouse made a sign for hungry, then hung his head, his glossy black eyes fixated on the sidewalk. "I know," I said. "I'm hungry too." Mouse produced the small piece of shrimp he'd been holding in his mouth. He offered me half, but I didn't take it. One half of a shrimp scrap would only wake up my stomach, and that was the last thing I needed to do.